Track forward moving energy, not vanity metrics. So followers, likes, reach, none of it matters, okay? None of it. Emails, your launches, none of it. It is not translating to movement through your sales process. Even those of you who are making some money, you actually don't really have a customer acquisition system. You don't really have a sales process, at least one that feels good to you. And that is the biggest hole in your business. That's your biggest energy drain and money drain. That's a major problem. Your whole thing is, well, I get people from posting or when I send an email or when I do this. That's not a system. That's something that is requiring you at all times. That can only go so far. You can only make so much money doing that. Let me be real with you. Wait, like I can do anything any other way. My first business that I've had now for 17 years, the one that I left my six-figure corporate job to start, even though I had no idea what I was doing and I had to use a credit card because I had no one to go to. No one would give me a loan. You know, you were not considered like hashtag boss babe. It was not sexy to be a female entrepreneur then, let alone doing something like in the digital marketing space, let alone leaving a what everyone said was a safe and reliable corporate career to do. Well, I built that business in hustle, in grinding, in pushing. I would get sick every 5 weeks. I'd get a sinus infection. I came up with a story that it had to be because I have a poor immune system because of being in the pharmaceutical industry. I was in and out of doctors' offices and hospitals constantly and always on planes. And so I had no idea that it could possibly be because I was working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And when I wasn't working, I was doing 2-a-days at the gym, and then I would go out and party, or I'd have to go like entertain clients at night, which sounds really bad. And it sounds like I'm running some kind of a brothel, which basically I felt like I was. It was insane. And I didn't know I could do it any other way. So I traded my corporate job for a business that became more of a prison than working for someone else, which is why I'm so passionate about what I teach you here on the podcast and in the ProjectME Business Coaching Academy, because I didn't know there was another way because of what I've been taught about being in the system, and that, you know, the early bird catches the worm and you have to sacrifice for success. And the more you work, the more you make. And I'm telling you right now, that's part of the matrix. It's bullshit. I'm not saying you sit back and do nothing. That would be entitlement. That's not what we're about over here. But there is a much smarter way, one that's sustainable, one that is life-giving instead of life-draining. And that's what I did in building ProjectME. I had to take my first business, TLC Enterprises, which is my digital marketing agency that specializes in the health, medical, and pharmaceutical sector. I had to literally burn that almost to the ground. I burned it 90% to the ground. I had to release clients. I kept just a couple clients that I just adored, that I knew I could, let's just say, pull off being very, very unwell. And it was enough money for me to pay my bills, not stack any cash, nothing. Like literally just enough to pay my bills. I could barely handle that because I was so sick from being in true burnout. Like my adrenals stopped producing cortisol and I had to carry rescue cortisol. Without cortisol, you go into cardiac arrest. It's actually an important thing. I was that sick, and I'm sharing all of this as a precursor to what I'm getting into in this episode of sharing with you the 7 key things that I've done and I do today in order to make more and work less. So they're a combination of things that I did early on, that I did several years in, and then ones that I've implemented over the last year or two that I wanted to highlight things that move the needle the most, give me the most time, give me the most freedom, make me the most money, and the ones that I've taught to many, many clients and people from all different personalities, different countries, different backgrounds, different ages, because then I know you can apply them and they're going to work for your life. But I built ProjectME with Tiffany Carter not knowing it would work, not because I didn't know what I was doing. I already did. I already had a business. Like I teach this stuff, not because I didn't have faith in myself, not because I wasn't willing to work or be uncomfortable and invest. No, it was because I didn't really know if it was possible to work less and make more and prioritize your well-being first and prioritize living first and be able to have things work for you. And keep in mind, when I started Project Me, I already had many, many different passive income streams. So I already had evidence that passive income was a thing, but I didn't think you could really build and grow something. Like I thought, yeah, you can have rental properties, you can have stocks, like you can make money. Like I understood that, but I didn't think you could really like build a true business and help millions of people and really go for your dream without burning yourself out. But I gave myself 1 year. And that's what I always say to you guys. If you're not willing to give yourself 1 year, and then you can reevaluate after a year, you can even have like a 6 month point where you check in. But if you're not willing to go in for a year, like jump in the water, no more toe dipping. I don't know if this is going to work out, but I'm damn sure going to set myself up and stack the odds in my favor that it's going to be a success. Then you don't really want it that badly. And I built Project Me while healing, while unlearning toxic hustle culture, corporate culture, while choosing peace over pressure and profit over perfection. And I did it part-time. And I used to be the person working 12 hours a day. So if you're tired of working so hard and feeling like you're still behind, if you're secretly wondering, is this even working? Is this even going to work? I don't have it in me. I know I can't keep this up. Like I'm running on fumes here. This episode is going to shake you up in the best way. I'm sharing the real, raw truth behind how I built a wildly profitable multi-million-dollar business, working less than I ever had in my life, to the point where I felt like I was doing something illegal. This is no fluff, no performative bullshit, no fantasy marketing, just real strategy, support, and nervous system safe success. I know you're ready for the shift, and get ready, because now it's time to move into your era of working less and making more. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. So I'm going to share with you, in my 17 years of running, growing, scaling, dealing with the high moments, the low moments, the in-between moments as an unorganized, messy, high tendency to procrastinate entrepreneur, in what I've learned on how to make more and work less, where there's practical implementation that you can start right away. So these are 7 high-level secrets that you can use to get out of this burnout phase of thinking like I've got to do more and more and more and more and more. I work part-time and I have 2 businesses, and managing my own mental health and this wild brain of mine is also a separate part-time job. In fact, it might even be a full-time job. Who relates to that? So I want to get these off the list. I'm going to power through these because I know right now you're thinking that you've got to do something different. You've got to do something more. And then you're scrolling and you're seeing this person has this and this person is doing this and this person has this and they're posting more and they have a book and they have a course and they have a podcast, and your brain and nervous system are getting overloaded. You start short circuiting, and then a lot of you end up doing nothing when you're in that space, or you end up getting in a mode of doing all of these things like unhealthy productivity, and then you end up burnt out, and then you have to recover from that, and then your foot is off the gas, and we get in all sorts of cycles around it, and it needs to stop in order for this to truly work. I have an entire incredible self-paced course. It's my money and manifestation program, Make More Work Less, and it's divided into 3 parts, plus it has an incredible 87-page, really fun guided workbook that goes with that. And right now it's on sale for $200 off. And you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/make more work less. I've also put that here in the show notes for you. And it's in the description here on YouTube on Project Me TV. If you were to ask me, Tiff, where should I start when it comes to like the money noise in my mind, really recalibrating that so that I truly become a master of my own money story, and then combine that with the actual energetic mindset work, but with like the practical actual strategy of organizing your life and business to truly make more and work less, like like operationally and functionally, that is absolute program I direct everyone to. And the second place I would do in combination with that is my Project Me Posse group coaching membership, because seriously, weekly live group coaching with me and other special guest experts that I bring in for $100 a month. Like, no one does this. This doesn't exist. This is the only group business coaching program in the world. And right now we do have new member spots open, but that's not always the case because we keep it limited to a small, intimate size so that in integrity, I can refer to it as a group coaching program and you get that experience and you get those results. You're not lost in the sauce with thousands of people, and you can access that in the show notes as well. And that's projectmewithtiffany.com/Project Me Posse. Basically, make some moves that are deliberately set up to get you where you want to go. And it might initially feel like you're pulling back a bow and arrow. Like, it might even feel like you're on pause, you're on hiatus for a moment, and your nervous system might not like it, or your ego probably won't like it either. But you have to remind yourself, we're resetting, we're recalibrating, we are installing a new operating system, because how I'm currently operating doesn't feel good to me, doesn't feel abundant to me, isn't getting me where I want to go. And so you're in a moment of a rebrand. And then you come back online with this new and refreshed energy and this new way of operating and this new way of being. And there's no way you're not going to be able to attract new abundance, new clients, new experiences, new cash flow. Okay. First thing, don't just use AI just to use AI. You need to train it to think like your business brain. I didn't have ChatGPT and all of these other different apps now using AI when I started. Now I sound like someone who's like, and in my day, we had to print out MapQuest instructions to get places. We didn't have GPS. I mean, it's true. I mean, that was a moment. Who remembers that? That was a shit show. And we're also like, we're reading that not from a phone. Like, we're reading that from like papers while driving. That could not have been safe. And then if you make a wrong turn, you were fucked. I mean, that really was hard. And it's kind of a really good analogy for AI. So most people are using it wrong. I am going to have a top tier expert on AI come on and like share all the secrets of that with you. But instead of treating it like a content vending machine, I want you to treat it like your strategic thought partner. Like, feed it frameworks, feed it your tone of voice for your brand, buyer psychology to generate premium level content and offers and messaging that feel like good to you. So you're not doing it from scratch all the time, so you can build your own custom GBTs or internal prompts that mimic your voice, your tone, and your process. And now you're scaling your brain, not just saving time. Do you see what I mean by the difference? And it's not just AI I'm referring to. I mean, there's other apps that you can use. And if you want to use people, like you have virtual assistants or admin assistants that are doing stuff for you, it's better to have procedures and processes in place that are spelled out, even though it's a pain in the ass. I hate doing that kind of admin stuff, but doing that in the beginning, because then you're not having to always repeat yourself when you're onboarding someone. It's already clear. It ends up saving you so much time and energy in the long term. And so that's what I mean by it might feel like you're putting in a little more effort up front in order to set yourself up strategically to make more or work less. And that's okay. So you need to embrace everything that's out there to help save you time, but I don't want you just focused on like, oh, it can write a caption for me, because then you're not going to make profits. Okay. You have really got to sit there and feed these things properly as though you have a live assistant working next to you and talk to it in that way. Number two, nervous system regulation is not self-care. It's a sales strategy. So your capacity to receive, sell, and scale is capped by your nervous system's ability to hold success without self-sabotage. I had to learn this one the hard way many times over. So if you're constantly overworking, overgiving, underpricing, you're likely running from dysregulation, not from strategy. So here's the move. I want you, and you can experiment with this too and see what works for you. Okay. Everyone is different. Everyone has a unique recipe and at different seasons in their life of what helps regulate their nervous system. I want you to anchor 3 daily nervous system resets. And this doesn't need to take like an hour in your day. All right. right? So for some people, it's like cold exposure. Like even when you're taking a shower, maybe the last 30 seconds of your shower is cold. Somatic shaking. So I like using movement. I have a shake plate that I bought. Highly recommend that. And I like will just go on it for 5 minutes. Jumping jacks. I will do like dancing, even just for 1 minute, even just like full body shaking, like you see a dog do, even for 30 seconds, really, really helps. You can use breath work. I did some of that this morning. So these, again, are not things that take you an hour. These are things that you just do in micro moments of your day. But I want you to incorporate 3 daily moments where you're doing these things into your workflow, especially before like client calls, or you're creating content, or you're writing emails, or you're having a meeting with someone, or you're wanting to get in like thinking of like your next offer that you're putting out, because you want to make sure that you are creating and you're communicating from a regulated space, because it'll come out much faster. You won't get stuck. It'll be more captivating. When we try to create from a space of, oh, I just need to get this out. Oh, I just need to get this done. And I've done it many times. It takes longer. There's mistakes, and it typically does not connect. Okay. Forcing, pushing, hustling is really not a super lucrative plan. You can make a lot of money doing it that way. And I built my first business that way, but it's not sustainable. And there's definitely a cap because you don't have any energy left. And it sucks so much of your time, and we can't get time back. So this is just not the way to do things. Number 3, hire for proximity to power, not for admin relief. This is a little controversial, but I'm just telling you, I've got the receipts. Instead of hiring like low level help to save time people, and a lot of people think, oh, I need to hire that VA first. I need to hire an admin first. Actually, you need to invest in mentors, strategists, experts, or advisors first who collapse decades of time, effort, and energy into days, i.e. someone like me. So the right expert doesn't just tell you what to do. They tell you what to stop doing and show you exactly what to focus on to grow. You are getting that true roadmap to your destination. Ideally, get it where it's customized for you. And I know it can feel scary, whether you have a lot of money in the bank or not. It can feel daunting. It can feel scary. It can feel risky, especially if you've invested in people before and it's not worked out. I understand that. Okay. It's the rite of passage. We've all invested time in people where it hasn't worked out personally and professionally. You know, we've all had shitty jobs. We've all had shitty friends. We've all dated shitty people. We've all hired, scammy, not such great coaches or trainers or practitioners, right? Like it's just part of life. But to not make sure you're getting it customized, and not everyone has that available. This is why I still offer, it's just not offered all the time, one-on-one private business coaching with me in my 2-month private container. I am about to close my applications. Like I'm giving you a warning right now. And if this is something where you want to make sure you collapse the most time, you save the most time, you get the furthest ahead, because we're customizing everything for your exact goals, your exact personality, your exact strengths, and from someone who's already done it many times over, you're taking out all the wasted time of hoping and posting, figuring it out. Let's try this and see if this works. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that. And then all the downtime of being frustrated and irritated that it didn't work. And now you're licking your wounds, and now you're coming back. And I mean, if I went back in time, my number one thing I would have done first is gone right for the Holy Grail and hired a top tier business coach. And you can say this is, self-serving, but it's not. It's any area of your life. If you are looking to reclaim your health and you want to lose weight, I would tell you the same thing. Don't go just like look at free like YouTube videos. Hire someone who's going to customize a program for you, hold you accountable, be there to emotionally support you, stack the odds in your favor so your success is inevitable. But that does come at a price, right? There is a ticket price for that. But the cost of not doing that is even higher. So you have to look at that. So that high ROI move, that high return on investment move, look and see who has what you want and who you feel that you trust that is going to show you how to get there. And it's someone who you learn well from. Okay. And I will put my application to my 2-month private business coaching program inside the show notes and inside the description here on YouTube on ProjectME TV. But remember, this is the highest level way to work with me. So do not apply as like a look-see-loo. Okay. I only will work with people who are like, enough's enough already. I'm going for this. I'm not going to waste any more time or energy in my life. I've done that already. It's time. I want to do it the efficient way. I work with both new entrepreneurs and established entrepreneurs, but we use the same application because we keep things simple around here, because simple sells and complexity repels. All right. Number 4, stop building content machines. Build offer ecosystems. Posting more will not fix a broken or unclear offer. It will not fix a brand that doesn't have clear messaging. The better strategy is to build an offer suite that meets your buyer's emotional journey. And then you reverse engineer your content to guide them through it. So this is strategic. So just slapping shit up there that's cute, looking to see what someone else in your industry does and kind of like mimic it or do a version of it. Or you're using like memes and like some things that are viral and reposting those. And oh my God, look at all these views. I don't care. What kind of profits are you getting? My lowest viewed stuff is my highest converting stuff 95% of the time. Then there's sometimes where there's this beautiful crossover, which we welcome, and that's amazing. So it's typically the stuff that like energy and content vampires consume that's like inspirational, immediately funny. And that stuff, yes, does have a place in your content plan. But if you keep leaning into posting stuff like that, this is why you're not making money. So I want you to map your ideal client's emotional arc and align each offer and piece of content with a distinct belief or buying threshold. And you're like, what the fuck did that mean, Tiffany? This is something I teach you step by step inside my Posse membership. All right. The episode isn't about this, so I'm not going to go into the weeds on it. There's other podcast episodes I talk about it, but you really want to learn this cash making skill. This is a damn skill. This is why I say like invest in skills. Don't invest in just getting stuff done. Skills are what continue to pay off for you your entire life as you practice them and do the reps with them and you get better and better at them. They become easier and more lucrative. And think of anything you've done, whether it's a craft, it's a sport. The more you do it, the easier it gets and the more reward you get. And skills when it comes to money making and business is no different. 5, time block your weeks based on your nervous system intensity. Not all business activities demand the same energy. Stack your weeks so high output, high pressure work. But like what I mean by that is maybe you're doing live teachings, you're in a launch, you have a bunch of sales calls, you're batching content that week, you're putting together a course, right? Like make it to where you do it when your energy is the highest. So obviously most of my listeners are women. We have a lot of men in here too, and people who identify as something else. But when you are syncing with your cycle, that's a thing. Some people like syncing with, the universe and where the planets are. Some people just know there's certain weeks of the month where they have more energy, or times of the day where you have more energy, or days of the week. I need you to start getting curious about that and noticing your energy levels, and make sure you start putting those more heady tasks or the things that require you to have more focus, where you're setting yourself up for success instead of working against yourself. And then batch your low input tasks around like recovery cycles. So I have things that I do while I'm watching TV couch rotting. I'm still enjoying myself, or I'm just like sitting at the beach chilling. And for example, like editing like videos, like face to camera videos, it's actually kind of therapeutic for me. It can be a little tedious, but the more you do it, the faster you get at it. But I can like multitask while doing that. Or I want to take in podcasts, or I'm in different programs and I want to learn a course, or I need to like review some emails of mine. I can go for a walk and do this this at the same time. So look for ways that you can multitask with these low output activities and things in your business, because then you're getting more done in less time. And you're also getting other things that bring you joy and bring you energy at the same time. So I like using a 3 energy tier calendar system: creation, connection, maintenance, and schedule based on your natural energy flow. And that really, really works for me. And if you want to know and have an episode on any one of these secrets, like, and me to go in more detail, then just DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. I check my DMs there way more often. TikTok's a little overwhelming. It's also at ProjectME with Tiffany because there's just a lot of activity on there. But let me know that you want me to go in more detail on something, and then I can create an episode around it. 6, track forward moving energy, not vanity metrics. So followers, likes, reach, none of it fucking matters. Okay. None of it. Emails, your launches, none of it. It is not translating to movement through your sales process. And I know a lot of you listening, even those of you who are making some money, you actually don't really have a customer acquisition system. You don't really have a sales process, at least one that feels good to you, that feels good to your nervous system. And that is the biggest hole in your business. That's your biggest energy drain and money drain. And I would say it's time for you to get customized help from me. That's a major problem. Your whole thing is, well, I get people from posting, or when I send an email, or when I do this. That's not a system. That's something that is requiring you at all times. Like, that can only go so far. You can only make so much money doing that. And it's highly dependent on your energy, which is dangerous because our energy fluctuates. So start tracking what actually drives momentum: conversions, conversations, buyer questions, DMs, aligned opportunities that come your way. So here's your high ROI move. Every week, I want you to track 3 things. That's it. So conversations that were initiated, offers that were extended, and sales or objections that were received. All right. Those 3 things are, you need to then back in and go, what made someone DM me? What made someone write this in a comment that really initiated a conversation to buy from me? Which email topic was it that converted or got the most open rate? What video was it? Which conversation in person? And really take a look at that and get kind of geeky on it, because now we want to triple down on that instead of just like doing it from your ass. From your ass. That's going to give you from your ass cash. And that is not what we're setting you up for right now. We're setting you up to have a rich as fuck summer. Okay. And you want to have that. That's why I created this episode. Number 7, mastering one skill deeply will outperform dabbling in 10. You guys are, a lot of you are dabblers because you're multi-passionates, you're ADHD, you get like squirrel brain. You're like, oh, I need to do this, and this person's doing this, and I should do this. And you have a lot of interests. I have a lot of interests too. And my brain can do that too. It's just a way of your ego to distract you. You cannot sprinkler system your business and have it work. Meaning you can't have like a few droplets of water here, a few droplets of water there, have 7 different offers out there. And I'm thinking, well, if I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm sharing all these things, like now there's more things out there. So something's going to work and someone's going to buy because there's more things. Nothing's getting saturated enough to be hydrated. And if it's not hydrated, what's going to happen? You're having a slow death. It is going to lead to Broketown. And that happens in even big businesses when they get away from, or they start doing too many things. A lot of us even get frustrated with social media. Like, I'm very irritated with Instagram right now. Like, I don't like it when they keep adding new features, changing the algorithm. You can use this app. You can use that app. It's too much at once. It's too much change at once. We can't do all of these things. We're on different apps. We have other things going on in our lives. Like, we don't have time to learn all these new things at once. And so even major corporations end up having to go, oh, we have to catch ourselves. We have to simplify. Simplify is how you amplify, and simplify is how you make serious cash. So instead of collecting surface level knowledge and like marketing, branding, launching, SEO, AI, etc., go all in on mastering one high leverage, one high income producing skill. This is why all of my programs are focused on teaching you skills, i.e., my, once a year, very famous Selling with Soul program. I'm teaching you emotional sales, i.e., working with me privately, where it's completely customized, where you're getting a profitable content plan. You are learning exactly how to create offers and package them so that they sell, and creating a customized launch plan for you. Energetic marketing, offer design, personal branding. That's why inside my ProjectME Posse business group coaching membership, it's heavily on skills that generate income, because that is how you're going to shave off time and make more money. You getting caught up in all of this gimmicky, flashy, vanity metric, ego bullshit, like go viral this, da 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 this. I understand it really is a shiny object for your ego. It's the more, dare I say, boring stuff that is going to give you the most ease of life and abundance in life when it comes to business. And just think about that, even like in terms of exercise, right? A lot of it is the boring stuff. It's not all these gimmicky different workouts. It's the simplicity of it and being able to get better and better at it, customizing it, and being able to have the consistency with it and all the repetitions of it. And that is what's going to get you the prize at the end. So your high ROI move on this is pick your zone of genius. Okay. Hire, barter, ignore the rest. Depth equals wealth. Go deeper. The deeper you go, the dollars will flow. So even with your offers, stop putting a million things out there. Go, you know what? I'm going to go deeper on helping this one type of person with this one type of issue getting to this one desired transformation. I'm going to go deeper here. I'm not going to keep creating, well, I should create this and they also need this and they also need that. Not to say you can't do it over time. All right. But once the one thing is saturated and fully hydrated and you've got the system in place, the rinse and repeat, so it's selling while you're sleeping, then we go to the next thing, and then we go to the next thing. Stop trying to do all the things at one time. So you know where to go to make a move. Don't tell yourself the lie that you're going to do all of this on your own. I wanted to give you a look of really what I peel back, of what really matters, and anything outside the scope that your brain is telling you right now that you need to do is not true. All right. Like, I've got the receipts. I have the receipts, not just my own, but in the over 150,000 people that I've coached and mentored. Let's simplify. It gets to be easy now. It gets to be from a place of fun. It gets to be from a place where we're not having to force and push, where it gets to feel good, but that's going to require recalibration and an adjustment. And it's not going to work when you do it on your own, because your ego is going to get in the way. It's going to feel unsafe. It's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel uncomfortable, and then you're going to revert back to your old ways. For this programming to stick, you need to make sure you have that support. So come inside the ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. All right. We don't always have new member spots open, and we have spring enrollment right now. Go apply for my 2-month private business coaching program if you're at that point to go to the Holy Grail. And you can also take a look at my Make More, Work Less, Money and Manifestation program. That's a self-paced program that no matter what other live program and live coaching you do with me, I tell everyone they have to do that, because that gets to the core root. So you stop pushing away, subconsciously repelling money, and you heal it from the root. We go back to the plant analogy. How can you expect to have healthy plants if the root is not healthy to begin with? It's not going to happen. And eventually it's just not going to work. So you've got to be able to do that deeper inner work around money, around hustling, around your gunkiness, around success and visibility. And that's what that program covers. And like I told you, it's $200 off right now. So I would take advantage of that. And that's projectmewithtiffany.com/make more, work less. Everything is in the show notes. And I love you so much. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always.